See, we good. Mic check, mic check. See, we good. Mic check, mic check. Yes, sir. Well, let's get into it. Fifth quarter, week 11. And before we get into anything, we're going to go with the weekly recap, see what's going on over there. And then we're going to get into this recap on week 10. And then we're going to do the predictions week 11. Josh, what up? What's going on over there with them Cowboys, man? The morale seems kind of low in that Cowboys locker room. But yeah, we at fifth quarter, late night edition. You straight? Alright. It didn't seem like you were straight the way you was talking a few days ago. It seemed like you was ready to start sending some guys home with that team to pack their bags, go find a new team. D3, what up? What it do? Well, guess what? That's because I ain't played the Raiders yet. Nah, I mean, look, if he said that, that's a major compliment, because that's one side of the ball that you've been saying been killing you. So if he said that, then you know, D3, what it do, my guy? Born ready. Yeah, exactly. He was ready to, he took him out. He's sending notes. He's sending emails. He doing everything in his power for EA to see what's going on over there. But here's the reality, and I've been telling y'all this. For me, first let me say this. Yes, the defense can, and I said this numerous times. Yeah, the defense could use a little tightening up. But it ain't even just about that. I mean, look, we just gotta stop playing. We've been playing lazy for a long time. And well, I can't even say we. It's just, you can't just call a defense and just expect it to work just because you call it defense, no matter what. It's so much more. First of all, you gotta look at all the different tools that they gave us to use for defense. You can move safeties out. You can bring them in tight. You can move them up close. You can move them back further. So you got to understand, and this is the thing, everything that you thought you knew about defense, the way everything that we've been doing on defense, get rid of that out your mind. There's still a few things, there's still a few rules that's going to apply, but it's so much different now, and it's like, you have to, at the end of the day, you have to utilize all the different things that you can do. Man to man, shading underneath, over the top, inside, outside, commit to route. All of these different tools they have in the game for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than just use this stick switching on defense. Exactly. All of those things play a factor, man. I'm saying me myself, my defense been getting better game to game. I ain't been giving up no 50 points like that. The one person I did was Murph, and that was my first game in the league. Like I wasn't even playing I wasn't getting no reps in. You know what I mean? But I ain't even have proper playbook and stuff when I played Murph. But still in all, it was a wake up call. It was like, yo, am I gonna go through this whole season like this, or am I gonna tighten it up? And the other reality is this as well, that none of us is really putting a lot of work in to really learn it. You dig what I'm saying? We all playing. Well, I'm pretty sure majority of us is only playing when we got a league game. So it's not like we them guys that's on the game 7-8 hours to try to figure out what it is that, you know what I'm saying? We learning on the fly. I said that numerous times. We literally learning on the fly. You know, so it's like we might play today, and then depending on who your opponent is the next week, you might not play again till 4 days later. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like any of us is putting no real work in on the game to really learn, you know, different things. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of tools that we have to use, and we just got to get in the habit of using them. It's there for a reason. You know, the commit to a route on defense. I mean, that wasn't there last Madden. It's there this Madden. You understand? The safeties, the moving the safeties up, tight, out, further back, closer up. That wasn't there last Madden. So you gotta understand. Forget all of that crying about, you know, what the defense is. Yeah, the defense could be a little better, but at the end of the day, so could we. You understand? I seen the Giants smash the Bears 51-7. So don't tell me nobody can play defense. It's just that a lot of us, like I say, and I said it before too, but I'm not trying to get into, you know, exactly what's what and we giving out no, you know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm competing as well. But I'm telling you, there's some things that you got to get rid of that we've been accustomed to doing, and you gotta adapt to what's happening now. You understand what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is. And there's so many different things that we can do on defense. You know, are you going to be stubborn and just say, well, this need to work, that need to work, or are you going to figure out, you know, nah, G, I ain't going with that. I ain't trying to outscore my opponent. Yeah, that is the name of the game. But nah, if you think that you just gonna be winning 60 to 50 every game, not at all. You know what I mean? But yeah, the name of the game is outscore your opponent. But you know, look, as I look now, my opponents per game, I'm in 7th with that, giving up 29.8. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, there is a way to play D. We just gotta learn it. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta learn it. You know, so and I mean, look, again, I tell you this, when playoff time come, I'm telling you, you're gonna see scores lower than what you're seeing now. I'm telling you. Because why? Because the more and more we play, the more and more guys gonna figure certain things out. But again, we gotta get out of that being lazy stuff, man. Like, it's bigger than just calling the cover 3, you know, and just expect the you know, the defense is just, nah. You gotta understand, when you call these defenses and you picking linebackers, do you even know what you supposed to cover? Do you even know what the weak side of the defense is on that play? You know, a lot of y'all do, but there are plenty that don't. You understand what I'm saying? When you take these safeties out, you know, and I know I've got burnt several times doing that, and I gotta remind myself, yo, when you cheat, when you take a safety and you cheat and you move them up, yo, don't be surprised when you get hit over the top. You understand what I'm saying? Down the middle or something, or some type of post route. Like, you move them where he's supposed to be. You understand? So all of that ties in. When you call a blitz, do you know what you potentially giving up? Do you know which side is the strong side in the blitz? Do you know which side is the weak side in the blitz? You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, do y'all know that you can individually, you Yeah, exactly. Zone flats. I don't even mess with none of that. I don't mess with no zone flats. And don't get me wrong, it's cool to use every now and then. But I don't rely on that because you got dudes that will call 15-yard, drop backs, and they expect, why he not dropping back? Yo, man, it's more than that. It's bigger than that. You understand? Like, you can't just call a blitz and expect the blitz to get there and then say, oh, the defense is broke. I called the blitz, they ain't even blitz them. Nah, man, it's more to that. If you don't understand that, then you shouldn't be blitzing. You understand? Do you know you can individually yeah, exactly. Do you know that you can individually press one receiver and back the rest up off the rest? You know stuff like that. Again, I'm sure a lot of y'all do, but are you taking the time to do these things? You understand? Are you taking the time to do these things? It's different things that you can do. You gotta know your matchups as well. This game will expose you if you don't know what you're doing out there. And I said it before the last time I did the fifth quarter. The speed shows in this game. If you hit a receiver on a route, he could take off. You understand? So it's like you gotta know your matchups. If you got a cornerback out there with 90 speed matched up against a wide receiver with 94 speed, then if you pressing them, you better hope some type of pass rush get to that quarterback. Otherwise, you done. And you need to understand that. Now, if you got a cornerback out there faster or matched up with that receiver speed, then you could afford to do things like that. But exactly, bro. This chess not checkers. If you call a man-to-man, so what? You got two safety help. You need to know what your matchups are. You need to know what the other receiver is on the other side. You need to know. It's different things, man. Like I'm just looking at God's safety. I'm like, y'all not really understanding what's what. Like, Madden is going in the direct. And again, this is not me saying the game is perfect. No, the game is not perfect. I'm gonna keep iterating that, but at the same time, the defense is not as broke as people say it is. It's just that, again, we've been so accustomed to playing a certain way, and then you have to look at all the different things that they give you to use on the defense. Dudes is not using them. And don't tell me you are, because there are games that I check in and I see y'all don't. I'll see people just click on the defensive lineman. All right, okay, what is that doing? I hope you know how to utilize the swim moves, the power moves if you're playing as a D lineman. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, and again, I'm not saying that you can't, but you got to pick your spots. You got to know when to do it. When you call cover 2, you got to know when to call cover 2. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if I'm calling, look, let me just give an example. And I've seen this happen just the other day. If it's third and long, if it's third and 24, and a dude is out in the 4 wide or even 5 wide, why do you call in the cover 2? Do you know what the purpose of a cover 2 is? Do you know when you should bring that out? Like, I don't understand that. Like, so it's just that I see a lot of people don't know what they're doing when they call a defense. You understand? Because there's certain times you should not be calling certain defenses. And again, I'm not up here saying that the game is perfect. Please let me say that again. The game is not perfect, but the game is not as broke as people say it is. Don't tell me it is, because again, I've just seen some scores, you know what I'm saying, to show that it ain't. Everybody's not scoring a bunch of points every game. It's just that, man, when you play against certain people, and it's just certain people just know what to do in certain situations and some don't. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. Absolutely, I agree. I ain't really have no problems with the last Madden. And to me, this Madden is better than the last Madden. You know what I mean? But, I mean, look, I could be in the minority with that, but that's just my personal opinion. I think Madden is pretty dope, to be honest with you. Like, it's just that, listen, people fear what they don't understand, right? That's just how it go. So when you talk about, the defense this and the defense that, it's just the fact of, all the things that you're saying about the defense, keep in mind, there's so many things on defense that we can do that we couldn't do in the past, that we now have at our hands to do. You understand? You got the zone flats and zone drops on that you can use. All right, cool. But do you know when you should be bringing that out? Do you know why you bringing that out? And if you bring that out, that don't mean just stay on it for the rest of the half. Or the rest of the, even forget the half, the rest of that whole drive. Because if you keep backing the dude up 15 yards, guess what? Dude's gonna start throwing little curl routes and stuff like that. And if you keep just using 5-yard flats, like you bringing the guys up mad close, now dude's gonna start going over your head. You gotta know when to do certain things. And if it don't work, listen, and whatever you're doing not working, call something else. Obviously, whatever you're doing ain't working. You understand? If you call it man, then man ain't working, zone. If you call zone ain't working, use man. If that ain't working, blitz. Like zone blitz. And then you ain't just gotta just man blitz, you can zone blitz. Like, there's so many different things that you can do that I'm just like, yo, man, dudes just don't, I don't know. I don't be knowing, some of y'all don't be knowing what y'all want. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know what y'all be wanting. Like, it's really not that difficult. Because let me tell you, every big play that I give up, I know what I did wrong. You understand? I say it to myself, I be like, dang, you're supposed to have been on point for that. You understand what I'm saying? But I never came out of a game feeling hopeless. Like, I just don't know what to do. Because everything can be stopped. It's just a matter of, do you have enough wherewithal to figure out what it is that they doing and to call something that's going to, stop what they doing, or at least slow it down. Everything could be stopped. Everything could be stopped. There's no such thing. It's just, are you just stubborn to just keep doing this and doing that? You understand? Like, do y'all know when you shade underneath with the zone this year? Do you know what's different between last year and this year? I'm not going to sit on here and tell you, but there's a difference now when you shade underneath using zone. There's something different that it does on this game that it didn't do on the last one. But again, that's for y'all to figure out. I'm not gonna sit up here and just give you all the answers to the test. But I'm just here to tell you, y'all gotta start paying attention and utilize all the different tactics that they have for us to use. Let's get into this recap now. Let's see what happened on this recap. And then we're gonna get into the recap from last week. Last week's game. Man, the safeties, all the stuff you could do with the safeties,
the
like,
race is
man.
taking shape. I'm Scott Hansen. You're tuned in to the EA Sports Weekly Recap for Week 11. Plenty of action to get to. We'll begin out in Las Vegas. The Raiders at home to take on the Cowboys. And this is Dante Thornton. He's going to bring this one in, and away he goes. Put it in the books as a 76-yard score.
Raiders balling.
The Raiders
9-1
to run through the NFL. They are now 9-1 with the victory here. From there, it's off to SoFi Stadium.
This is a big game in the NFC West.
They play host to the Seattle Seahawks. And here, it's the Seattle defense making the play. They knock the football out, force the fumble, scoop
They
it,
say Seattle defense made the play, but that's the Rams making the play.
Touchdown.
Seahawks balling too. I don't know if y'all remember, but the Seahawks was like 1-4 or something like that. They've been on one.
And this is Devon Achane. Spots an opening.
Dolphins needed this game in a big way to stay with Buffalo over there, and the Commanders, they needed that game to stay in the playoff race. I think that game might have buried them.
Good night. We'll see you again next week right here on EA Sports.
All right, week 10 recap. We had Giants and Bears. I've spoke about the Giants the last time I did the fifth quarter, and I told y'all, I said the Giants is going to be a problem for guys. Like, his season might be over because he joined late. But I said that if you one of them teams that's playing for a wild card spot and you got to play the Giants, you are in for a real long day. Giants ain't no joke. And this is just year one for the Giants. Wait till this Giants team get an off season under their belt. Wait till he get a chance to build up Jackson Dart. You know, but Bears haven't won the game since he checked in Heartbreak Hotel against the Ravens. Y'all remember that? When he got heartbroken against the Ravens, he hasn't won the game since. He's now lost 3 in a row. You think it's mental at this point? I say it is. You know, one thing I know about Madden bring out the emotions and now we gotta use it for Denver. Carnage taking Denver. I've seen Madden bring out the emotions in a lot of people. So therefore, I'm telling you right now, and Addison is a good user. Do not get it twisted at all. He's a good user. So for him to drop 3 in a row, it's more mental than anything right now. Oh yeah, I've been told y'all. I've told y'all that years ago. Madden has built their momentum. Before all this momentum stuff got put in the game for home field and all of that, I've been told y'all that there was momentum in the game. You know, you ever felt like you lost 2 games in a row and nothing ain't going right? You just getting the crazy calls against you. Receivers not catching passes, they dropping it. You know, fumbling. It's just one of them things, man. And right now, the Bears cannot get it out of their own way. And before I look at the week 11 games, we're gonna go to the division race, because this game hurt the Bears in a major way. But I'm telling you now, y'all better keep an eye on the Giants. I gotta look at the Giants record, because I don't know if his season is over, but even if it is, it ain't his fault. He might have came in just a little too late. But the Giants gonna create havoc out there in the NFC. Bucks and Pats. I gotta give Murph a lot of props, right? Because, and there are several other guys like him, but you know, when you see guys like Murph show their versatility, right? They don't just gotta pick a one specific type of QB, or you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like Murph showing his versatility by taking his Bucks team, and not only is he doing this thing, he's been dominating. He haven't had too many close games. He's been on the top of his game with this Bucks team. So Bucks will have something to say come playoff time in the NFC. Pats lost this one. This pushed them to, I think, to about 6 losses. You know, this is a huge loss for him. But he went into Tampa and got rolled on. Buffalo and Miami. This game, no defense whatsoever. But hey, somebody got to win. Buffalo won by 11 in this one. In Miami. Big game. Big win for the Bills. Then we had Ravens and Vikings. Ravens blew the doors off Minnesota. Minnesota, I think, got 1 win or no wins on the season. So this is going to be a long season and long off season for Minnesota. Baltimore, I think he won about 3 straight now. He hasn't lost since he lost to yours truly, the Texans. The real Texas NFL team. Then we had Panthers and Saints. Panthers blew out the Saints 66-31. Carolina blew Mo needed this game in a major way. He got it done. Then we had Texans and Jags. Behind the scenes, the Jags was talking slick, you know, about how they was gonna pull off this game. But this game pretty much, I would say, buried him. He would have to win out in order to have a playoff run. Right now, he's looking at a wild card, but he got to go on a serious run. He went into Houston. He came up short. Then we had Seahawks and Cards. Seahawks won this one 73-51. Again, Seahawks been hot, man. They are definitely one of the hottest teams in the league right now. I think I would say that. I could be wrong, but I just feel like I remember seeing Seattle once upon a time 1-4, something like that, and now there are 2 games of the 500. Way to get back in the race and way to not give up when things were looking real gloomy over there in Seattle. Then we had Niners and Rams. Niners won this one 66-2 over the Rams. This is a big loss for the Rams, but I ain't gonna front. Huff got a nice little scheme. He got a nice little scheme over there. You know what he doing. You know, and I commend him for that because there are a lot of guys. Well, let me not say that. There's not a lot of guys, but there are some guys who I feel like don't even have a scheme. I feel like some guys just play and look for things to happen. But Huff got a nice little scheme over there. You understand? I gotta give him props for that. And, you know, guys like Huff are also, you know, acknowledged of them. You know, they don't cry about losing and stuff like that, or even if they get blown out. So, you know, those things like that do not go unnoticed. You know, that just means that no matter what's happening, he just remained to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna play and I'm just gonna get better. You know, he's working on his craft, he's working on his art, and trust me, it's paying off. Huff is getting better. But trust me, Huff is getting better. You know, you look at his record ain't the best, but he ain't got like no one win on the season or nothing like that. You know, so the 49ers, man, they improved. So shout out to Huff. This is a big win too. Rams definitely came into this game, I know, feeling like, you know, we got this, but little did he know that he would come in total opposite. Next we had Washington and Lions. Washington won this one 18-17. Probably one of the lowest scoring games of the whole season, you know, but Commanders won it by 1. You know, listen, it don't matter if you win by 1, it don't matter if you win by 20. Bottom line is get the W, and that the Commanders did. Steelers and Chargers. Big game, James went against P.E. Earl. Came up short even though he was at home. Chargers have not been able to like find a rhythm. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. Steelers pretty much been rolling this whole season. He only got 1 loss. That was to the Packers a few weeks ago. So he's back on track in his winning ways, and he got the job done. Then we had Eagles and Packers. I watched a few minutes of this game. This game was back and forth for a while. You know, it was actually tied up 30-something, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Eagles just made a couple of more plays to pull away in the end. But I like that Packer team, man. I think come playoff time, a team like the Packers is gonna be very dangerous come playoff time because he got a nice little offense going with them over there. You know, I mean, I know defense let them down in this one, but Packers, man, they've been playing some good ball this season, and I think that, you know, again, I've made the statement about 10 minutes ago. I believe when the playoffs come, I think guys going to settle in. I think guys going to get a little more comfortable on defense, and I think you're going to see these scores drop down some. Trust me when I tell you. But the Eagles, nevertheless, still undefeated, still in their winning ways. Nobody has not been able to figure out this offense yet. I could be wrong, but I kind of feel like the Eagles is averaging anywhere between 55 and 60 points a game. That's just what I get from it. Every time I look up, they got 70, they got 60, they got 50, and they haven't been lower than that. So Eagles been scoring a ton of points, but I will say this, but how much of a bad thing is it, right? Because they're not the only ones. They also been giving up a lot of points. They just been scoring way more than what they've been giving up. So now, if you the Eagles, come playoff time, you have to talk to that defense and say, listen, guys, we cannot just keep anticipating on scoring 60 or 70 points in the game, you know, and just think that, you know, we're going to be fine. Defense going to have to play better, but it hasn't caught up with them yet. But, hey, they're making it do what it do. Before I go into week 11, let's go to the standings and see what's going on with these playoff races. In AFC North, we got Steelers and Ravens. Um, both 8-1. Bengals and Browns season is wrapped up. Ravens won 4 in a row. Steelers won his last two. Look like these two is gonna come down to the very end. AFC South, Texans 6-3. Everybody else under 500. Look like the Texans pretty much putting everything but a bow on this division. AFC East, you got the Bills at 7-2. Then you got Miami at 7-4. Bills once nah, you ain't gotta work on it, G. I ain't trying to I'm just I'm just being ESPN right now, bro. You ain't gotta work on that. Matter of fact, don't work on it. You know what I mean? Just sit back over there, enjoy y'all undefeated record. Bills won 7 in a row. Um, they doing their thing right now, quietly too. Quietly, Buffalo 7-2. Um, Miami is 7-4. I know I got a game coming up with Buffalo too, so we're looking forward to that matchup. Miami 7-4. Jets 5-5. Jets barely hanging on, but they hanging on. They're 500. And but right now, I would say it's looking like Bills and Dolphins. Dolphins gotta stay in this race with Buffalo. He gotta win these games because Buffalo won 7 in a row, and he don't like keep trying to slow down. But I'm telling you, in football, you can be up. You can be up 1 week, and 2 weeks later, you can find yourself in second or third place. So Buffalo don't have no room to take his foot off the gas. He got to continue doing what he's been doing. In the AFC West, you got them Raiders. They won 6 in a row. They are 9-1. Big game, James. The Chargers 6-4. Chiefs 5-4. I might be getting a little. It might be getting a little bit more than the Chiefs can handle over there. I'm rooting for you, Dwayne. I'm glad to see you even still at 5-4 in this position. But because normally, you'll normally be how the Broncos record is right now, but you still in it, you still dancing, man. Just keep doing what you've been doing, But right now, the Raiders are looking like a serious problem, not just in the AFC, but the entire league. We see what the Eagles been doing, but this Raider team, man, and this is the Raiders at that. This ain't no, team that everybody beating the doors down for. Like, this is the Raiders. Yeah, they do have talent, but still in all, let's not sit up there and act like they got Pat Mahomes over there on that Raider team. So shout out to DK, man. He got them boys working over there. NFC North, you got Packers at 6-3. That's born ready. The Bears, Addison, he's 5-5. He finally was able to win one to snap that losing streak. But again, remember, about 3 weeks ago, this division was totally different between the Bears and Packers. Bears, he's been losing games. He's now 2 games out of first. The Lions is 3-6. It's been a long season for the Lions, and the Vikings as well. Vikings 1-9. They looking like they're fighting for the #1 pick going into next season. NFC South, you got the Bucks 8-1. Carolina Blue Mo 5-5. Falcons have lost 5 in a row. He's 3-6. Saints lost 9 in a row. He's 1-9. So Bucks cruising in this division. They on one right now. Will anybody be able to slow this Bucks train down? Guess we'll find out. But right now, it ain't like it's happening no time soon. Eagles sitting at 9-0. Cowboys dropped 2 in a row. They are now 6-4. I guess it's safe to say you could put a division crown next to the Eagles. They look like they got this division wrapped up. The Giants are 4-6 right now, and at 4-6, you definitely have a chance for a wild card. He's won 2 in a row since he's joined. No, he's won 2 in a row. But remember, his game against the Eagles, they couldn't finish because his system kept cutting out, so they didn't get a chance to come to terms with playing again. But the Giants been playing some good ball, man. He's still in this wild card race. He's only 2 games under 500. He's in it. He's in the mix right now. And the Commanders sit at 4-7. But this whole division is playing. Well, not the whole division. I would say the Giants and Cowboys are playing for a wild card right now. I don't think 7 losses is going to get you in. And the Eagles right now, they looking like they just holding on to that #1 spot. They've been looking like a powerhouse. What can I say? They've been, like I said, they've been scoring a ton of points game to game. And right about now for the Eagles, the whole thing is just stay safe. I mean, stay healthy. You know, stay injury free. Cardinals 6-4, Seahawks 6-4, Rams 5-5, 49ers. I mean, he's at that point where, he's not out the division race, but these other three guys, I don't see the whole division collapsing. So it's looking like some difficult ground for 49ers to make up for. But Seahawks, again, they won 5 in a row. What I said the Seahawks is 1-4, right? And I was spot on with that. They was 1-4. They won 5 in a row. They are now 6-4. They are now tied for first in this division. Seahawks, they on one. They definitely on one right now. Rams dropped 2 in a row. He was 5-3. He's now 5-5. And just like that, his playoff hopes is starting to get slimmer and slimmer as the weeks go by. But there's still quite a few games left. But he's gonna have to turn it around before it gets ugly out there in Los Angeles. On to week 11 right now, the current week that we are at. You got the Jets over the Pats. Big win for the Jets. They needed this to keep their season alive. And not only just the season, they still in that division. They just need Buffalo to get some losses. But big win for the Jets. I think this loss probably eliminates the Pats from playoff contention. But we'll see. You never know. They might mess around and find themselves fighting for the 7th seed late in the season. Then you had Dolphins and Commanders. Dolphins needed this win. Got it done. Again, he's only 2 games out of first from Buffalo. Buffalo's on a 7-game win streak. Commanders, safe to say, their season, like I said, look like their season is about done. They got 7 losses. I don't think that's going to cut it. It's actually pretty shocking too, right? Washington made these trades. They brought over Tyreek Hill. They did some things over there, but none of it has been paying off at all. So when that ain't working, you got to figure out. If it ain't the players, could it be the scheme? But again, I'm not the coach over there. I'm not the GM over there. That's for them to figure out. But Dolphins won this one 35-30. They won in the tight one. Texans and Titans, I'll say Texans favorite in this one over the Titans by 10. Titans got 1 win on the season. They're tied for the Vikings for the worst record in the league. So right about now, again, these two, will they be playing to get better and try to find some type of momentum going to next season? We'll see. Bengals and Steelers. Steelers, 1 loss in the season. But this game could be tricky, right? Because K-Lou, again, he's one of them guys that you look at his record, and when you play him, you feel like he's better than what his record shows. Steelers know this. Steelers familiar with him. Like, K-Lou's been with us in leagues throughout the years, off and on. Steelers know you got to come and take care of his business at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. Right, exactly. He beat the Bears. So Bengals could be a dangerous team if you don't come in and you don't be on top of your game. You could find yourself down early. Steelers know he's in the dogfight with the Ravens. Steelers gonna have to come in. He's at home. He got to come in and handle his business. I think the Steelers get it done. Now, I'm gonna go Steelers in this one, 42-32. Next we got Chargers and Jags. Chargers need this game in a major way. Just because he's at that point right now where it's like you could tip towards finding yourself being out of the playoffs, or you could tip towards finding yourself in the playoffs. Just what wild card spot are you going to get? Are you going to get 5, 6, or 7? That's about right now if you're the Chargers. So if you're the Chargers, you want to come to Jacksonville, you want to win this game. Jacksonville is struggling. They only have 2 wins on this year, but at the same time, teams that, again, I always say this, if you're a team and you feel like your playoff hopes is over, do not give up on the season. Play, figure some things out. Take some positives into next season. So that's what you got to keep in mind if you're the Chargers. You don't want the Jags to discover something against you, and then you come out this game with a big time loss. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this over the Jags. But I think, believe it or not, I think it's going to be pretty tight. I got Chargers over the Jags. I'm going to say 39-31. Next, we got Packers and Giants. This right here should be a good one. Packers been playing good ball since the Giants joined the league. He's been playing good ball. I'm sure the Packers realize that. And I think the Packers come into New York knowing that, listen, this is not only a good test for us right now, but this is a good test for us next season. Because I'm telling you now, regardless of if the Giants make the playoffs or not this season, this Giants team is going to be a better team next season. So this is going to be a good matchup in my opinion. And I want to go Giants in this one, but I like the way the Packers been playing, man. I mean, I know they kind of lost by double digits against the Eagles last week, but at the end of the day, who didn't? Right? Everybody lost by double digits against the Eagles, but I like this Packer team, man. I like how they've been playing. I like how they've been playing. The passing game, they really been going to different receivers. They ain't just been locking on one. They've been going to different guys. So I like the Packers, man. But I'm not gonna lie. I think this game gonna be close. Give me the Packers over the Giants, 44-39. Next we got Bucks and Bills. Another one that should be good. Can Tampa go into Buffalo and snap that 7-game win streak? Tampa themselves is on the win streak. So both teams come on the win streak, but the reality is somebody's win streak is going to be snapped this week. I'm gonna go Buffalo's at home. I'm gonna go with Buffalo, man. I like this Bills team, and especially that Bills Mafia crowd is gonna be excited over there, knowing that they're going against a good Tampa team. And if you Buffalo, you have to take this game serious like this a playoff game. Why I say that? Well, if you the Bills, right, and you playing good ball the way you've been playing, you only got 2 losses on the season. You look at yourself as a Super Bowl contender, right? And I'm pretty sure you will look at a team like the Bucks, and then you would say to yourself, "This is a Super Bowl contender." Well, guess what? If you Buffalo, you want to send a message to the NFC possible representative. So this game I expect to be a good one too. But again, I'm going to take Buffalo simply because it's in Buffalo. Give me Buffalo over the Bucks and a big win for them. Score. I'm going to say 41-37. 41-37 Bills over the Bucks. Then we got Panthers and Falcons. Falcons are on like a 5 or 6 game losing streak. But again, Activist is another one of them guys that, in my opinion, right now, he's a better user than what his record shows right now. So if you're the Panthers, you got to come in and you got to handle your business in Atlanta. You cannot come in this game and afford to play down to what that record is. And let's not act like the Panthers been playing such great ball that they can't even afford to do that. But at the end of the day, the Panthers are still in this race, so they gotta win this game. Falcons season is over, in my opinion. But I think the Falcons would put a smile on their face if they feel like they put a real dagger in the Panthers season. But I'm gonna take Panthers over the Falcons. 38-33. Then we had Bears and Vikings. Bears got a chance to finally snap that losing streak, and guess what? If you want to snap a losing streak, a team like the Vikings would be a good team to do it against. But Bears still got work to do, but he snapped the losing streak. He got it done this week. Cardinals and 49ers. Cardinals won this one 52-50. Cards another one of them guys that yeah, he's probably not gonna make the playoffs, but I respect the work that he's been putting in as well. It's a good win for him. This is a good win for him. If you the Niners, it's a tough loss for you because you came in winning the game against a team that you was the underdog against, and then you lose a game against a team that you was the favorite against. So that kind of just cancels out that win against the Rams. So good win for the Cardinals, man. And this was a division win. They won by 2. Seahawks and Rams. Seahawks won this one 45-42. Again, Seahawks, they hot, man. They won 5 in a row after a slow start. But they're right back in the mix of things. They are tied for first. And they're looking like they have something to say over there in the NFC West. They say, listen, you may count us down, but do not count us out. and Seahawks came back, and they are right there in that division race. Rams is right there too, but it's a tough loss for them. Chiefs and Broncos. I'm gonna set this for the Chiefs right now, just because I know advances tomorrow, and I believe I believe Cardinals gonna take over the Broncos. If they play tomorrow and we got a new user, that's fine. But if they don't, make sure the Chiefs get their win. Ravens and Browns. I'll take Ravens, man. I think Browns. He's going against a Baltimore team right now that's very, very, you know, locked in. They've been scoring a ton of points, and I think the Browns. This might be a little bit too much for them to handle right now. I'm taking the Ravens over the Browns. We're gonna say 65 to 36. Lions and Eagles. Can the Lions be the team to give the Eagles their first loss of the season? Lions season is about over, but if he can win this game, I think this turns into a win streak for the Lions. Unfortunately, I'm not going to take the Lions right now because I have seen nothing really to make me feel like they will do it. So I got to go with the team that's been scoring points and that's undefeated, and that's the Eagles. Give me the Eagles over the Lions. I'm going to say 58 to 38. Then we had Cowboys and Raiders. Listen, Cowboys played good, man. They just couldn't get the stops. Obviously, they lose by 10. And then he ran into a buzzsaw. That's the Raiders. I told you, Raiders. They only got one loss in the season. They've been on one. They have been on one. So Raiders got the job done over Dallas, taking care of home field. We might as well just go into week 12 and do the predictions for week 12. Since advance will be no, I'm bugging. That's not no, we ain't gonna do that right now. We just advanced today. Yeah, so yeah. It's just that some games was played since we advanced, but you know, we ain't gotta go into week 12 right now. But y'all seen the predictions, y'all seen the division race. This is it, man. Anybody that's in the division race, time to tighten up. Time to tighten up. But we covered what we need to cover, the recap, the predictions, talked on a few things. And that's it, man. Time to knock out the games and get ready for week 12. See y'all week 12.